Laheating, hello everyone and welcome to my Queer channel. I'm your host Queer-chan, and today we are of course continuing our look at the larger playsets in the ChibiPokeHouse line. Now, in our last video we finished up our look at the original 5 playsets with of course the Type E, which I said was one of 2 portable playsets in the larger line. Today we're going to have a look at the other of those 2 playsets, and one which I might say is easily my second favourite playset in the entire line, including both the larger ones and the clamshell style ones. I absolutely adore this set. It's a very, very close second to the tree playset for me. I actually discovered this one completely by mistake on eBay one day about 6 years ago. As I've mentioned, the sets are very, very difficult to find on eBay, and often they're under, wrong names and whatnot. I got incredibly lucky one day, and there was a lot containing this set, again complete with a box and the playmat and everything, plus 2 of the smaller clamshell style sets, both of which I had already by that point. I can't remember if I've given them away already or not. If I haven't, I've actually already promised them to my other half, who of course is a Pokemon fan as well. But yes, as I said, I discovered it completely by mistake. I had no idea this set existed. There was unfortunately a bidding war, so I did pay quite a bit more for it than I have done with other sets in the past, not least because it actually came from within the US rather than coming from Japan. The box, I might say, is absolutely massive. It is probably the biggest box of any of the playsets. Most of them come in sort of fairly compact boxes. I'll try and find an example at some point. My boxes are all packed away at some point, but most of them come in a fairly compact box with a nice large viewing window where you get a nice, a good look at the set. This one came in virtually a moving style box. It was absolutely massive. There was no window or anything, but oh my gosh, I mean, the set itself isn't actually enormous, but the box it came in was almost ridiculous. That being said though, nice box. I'm very glad it came with it. Again, I might have to try and find it at some point to show you an example of it, but for now, let's have a look at the playset itself. This is, I actually don't know what to call it. It's one of the, I believe one of the advanced generation playsets, like the Celebi set, and the 2 remakes, one of the Pokemon Center set and one of the Tree set. I have the Tree set remake, as I've stated, which I will do in another video. But yeah, I actually don't know what to call this. If you can read Japanese and can read that, please let me know what it says. I'm imagining it's Pikachu's hide and seek or something like that, which was along the lines of the name of the film that it was from. I believe this film was from, I can't remember if it was the 4th film or the 5th film. One of the films that I actually did enjoy as a child. As you can see, funnily enough, I said that this came from within the US, but funnily enough, it is actually the Japanese set. I believe the person I bought it from was actually stationed at a US military base, I think in the US somewhere, or in some American territory. But yes, despite that, as I've said, it is actually the Japanese set, and the box that it came with had all the Japanese writing and everything on it. I've taken to calling this hide-and-seek mansion, as you can see, because it has this little house in the back, and of course is based on the hide-and-seek mini-movie. As you can see, it's another one of those portable sets. It's got the nice little Pokeball lock in the middle. It is a little bit sturdier than the Pokeball lock on the Type E. I think I would feel a lot more comfortable carrying this around with me than I would the Type E. Also, not least because, if you remember correctly, the Type E, the little tower on the side with the lift in it, came off. There's nothing like that on the outside of the set that really comes off. The only thing that came close was this little balcony railing, and I think it was primarily due to age. I may or may not have committed blasphemy, but when I got the set, I did actually super glue this in place, so I didn't have to worry about losing it. I don't regret it at all. It's made, you know, for a lot fewer worries, given that how often this set has moved with me. But yes, let's actually crack into the set and have a look at it. It's a huge set. I don't even know if I can actually get the whole thing in one shot. Pull this down as well. There are, as you can see, 2 areas of, you know, of place to play in this. You've got this little mansion, this little house up here, and of course the massive garden. And further to that, again, unfortunately, I don't have it with me at this time because I don't know where I've put it. Again, I've put it somewhere for safekeeping, and now, of course, I can't find it. It came with a maze playmat. If you'd like to see a picture of it, I'm going to put a link in the description of the video, which will take you to my you know, ChibiPokeHouse playset archive, where there are some more complete pictures of this, including the playmat. The playmat easily doubles the size of the entire set. I mean, it's not in the cases of the other sets. The playmat has really been a sort of, I don't know what to call it, not really a bonus or anything, but the idea was that you would actually put the set on the mat and sort of play on the mat. The idea with this set is that the mat sits in front of it, so you've got the entire maze that was in the film included with it, and as I say, just for that reason alone, it easily doubles the size of the entire place and just adds that much more play value to it, in my opinion. I'll try to tilt it up and show you the areas a little bit better. Got this absolutely gorgeous garden area. I don't know if you have picked up by this point, given my past videos, but garden areas and tree areas and whatnot are incredibly attractive to me. I love this sort of scenery on playsets. It's one reason why I love the tree playsets so much. But look how bright that is. Look how nice the paintwork is. The decals in the back here with those are, what are those? Sunflowers? They're actually not sunflora, believe it or not. I think those are just straight up sunflowers. Got nice decals along the sides of the staircase there. You've got this adorable little beach area with Whalmer, I believe he's called. And then you've got, oh, see, it's a huge set. It's very difficult to move around. Then you've got this water and fountain area. It's just an absolutely beautiful, beautiful set, in my opinion. It's just so bright. It's so colourful. It's one of those sets in my collection that literally just makes me happy looking at it. Oh, and then of course, try to get it up close. You've got the inside of the mansion. You've got a little fireplace there. You've got a little chair. Some decals, of course, with more detail. I think that's staircase going up to the top floor. There is only one floor, one playable floor on this, unfortunately. And then you've got some little dressers there, which are actually 3D. So they're not decals. They do have decals on them, but the dresses themselves actually do add, you know, some bulking and some detail to the house area. Of course, as is the case with these incredibly large sets, you get a huge variety of figures with you. You've got Kecleon, and I'll show you what to do with each of these figures in a moment when we go through the action features. You've got Kecleon, one of my favourite Pokemon ever. Azurill, I think it will focus. There we go. A very cute Cyndaquil, which may actually be a repack from one of the clamshell style sets. I will have to check on that. You've got Togepi with his little twig. Don't really know what to call it. I believe in the mini movie, I believe they actually sort of threw that up in the air as a signal that the game was about to begin or something like that. I can't remember, it's been a while. Sandshrew, very cute figure. I love this little one. Oh gosh, when I was about 9 years old and Pokemon was at its peak, I got an absolutely massive haul of Pokemon for Christmas, and in that was probably the most adorable Sandshrew plush I've ever seen in my life. It it was big too. I mean, not one of those little mini beanbag plushes that was, you know, impossible to hug and just got lost in your arms. I mean, this was a, you know, probably a life-size sanctuary plush. Oh my gosh. I absolutely loved hugging that little thing. I've still got it somewhere, I think. Anyway, back to this. Larvitar, who I believe was a bit of a bastard in the film, wasn't he? Beg your pardon, my throat's going again, as it usually does during these films. Donphan, all rolled up. There's a reason for that, which I'll get to. And then, of course, your standard Pikachu, who also has his little flag with him. On top of that, we've also got a pier, which, of course, doubles as the bridge accessory for this set. You just slip it over the side here, and of course, you can use that to connect with other sets in the ChibiPokeHouse series. Got a little splash of water which sits on top of, whoops, on top of Wailmer. If I can just get that on. This is a bit of a difficult feature to actually use. I'll get to that in a moment. You've got this little tree accessory with a very cute decal of a sleeping Hoot Hoot in the middle. The idea of this tree is that it's actually supposed to sit dead centre in the maze playmat, which, and again, I unfortunately don't have it with me at the time, otherwise I'd be able to show you. Otherwise, just sit it off to the side. And then, of course, something which, again, I think adds so much play value is this lawnmower. And it's not just a roll-along figure. You actually can wind it up and it will move around and change direction, because I believe a part of the film actually involved a bit of a crazy lawnmower. I think I'll actually just move the set off to the side and I'll see if I can demonstrate it for you. Whoops. So, see what I mean? Isn't that fun? My table's unfortunately not big enough to really do much with it, but the idea is that you would use that with the playmat, I believe. Oops, that's messed up a bit. So, as I've mentioned before, the theme of both this set and the film it came from was, of course, a game of hide and seek. And, of course, that is what the majority of the action features in this set revolve around, is a different hiding place for each of the Pokemon. Before that, though, there's a couple of sort of unique features. One being, let's see if I can zoom in a bit, move that back. It's right here. Hopefully you might have picked up the fact that that is actually a little Oddish hiding there, and I'm just trying to remember how to get, here we go, it's this rock here, I believe you spin it, and you get a little Oddish that pops up. Not only do you get an Oddish that pops up, but back here, if you look closely, you've got an actual Sunflora hiding among the sunflowers that pops into view. That's another nice thing I love about this set, is that all the decals have some sort of little hidden detail in them. Like here, for example, you've got an Eevee hiding behind the bushes, you've got a Hoppip hiding behind one of these flower planters. It's just an absolutely fantastic little set. It doesn't move, but you've clearly got the top of a little gloom here. Some nicely painted flower pots and everything. Of course, as is the case with the rest of the ChibiPokeHouse sets, what isn't covered by decals is absolutely beautifully painted, in my opinion, and just, you know, it's a very accurate paint job as well as not paint blobs all over the place. It's just such a very nicely done set. So, I'm going to try and remember. I don't think this actually does require anything to activate. I think you are actually supposed to manually pull this little shrub up, and as you can see, there's a hole inside where Kecleon is supposed to hide himself. Then, of course, up here you've got, let's see if I can move that around, there we go, a bit of a tyre yard here, and a lever, which, as you can see, tilts up this platform here. Now, this is one of those action features which again doesn't work very well in practice. The idea is that you hide your Donphan, who is rolled up like a wheel, in this tire lot, and you activate the platform, and he's supposed to roll down into the garden, but as you can see, it does not work terribly well. Let's see if I can actually get that. That was decent, but you get the idea. Oh, we'll move around to this side over here. Here you've got just a little bit of a hidey hole for Larvitar. I think, oops, one of my hairs. I think I actually had to figure out the hiding places for each of these Pokemon from the pictures on the box. I can't remember at this point. Then of course, oh gosh, while I drop the playset on the ground, you've got again this incredibly cute Wailmer, and this isn't so much a hiding spot, but just a little action feature for Togepi, and the idea is this pink out of place knob here. What is it with them and you know, bubblegum pink in the most unlikely of places? It was the exact same on the Celebi set, but the idea is that you can see his water spout rising and falling. It's an okay feature, it doesn't work terribly well, but you get the idea. It looks a lot better sitting where I am than it probably does on the camera, but yes. I thought I actually broke it the first time I tried it, but yes. So that's where you put your Togepi, and then you come around to, actually I think I will move that, so I can close this side of the set and show you the other side a bit more. Before that though, look at just how sweet those details are. You've got nice, you know, rippling water, you've got the beach sand, you've got, what's it called, Diglett hiding there, little shrubs. They really, I think, do go all out on the decorations on ChibiPokeHouse sets. Now, then you've got this area over here, which is some sort of fountainous area, and as I'm sure you picked up before, there's a little hidey hole for Sandshrew to camouflage himself in with the bricks, and then a little pot of water, which I do not recommend filling with real water as it could destroy the decals, for Azurill to hide in. And that's almost all of them if you're keeping track at this point. Got a nice little Pichu hiding in the bushes there. Lovely detailing on this, I don't know, aqueduct sort of thing. It's just an all-around lovely, lovely set. And I think I'll show you this fountain. The fountain does just pop off nice and easily. And as you can see, it's got 2 Chinchou and a Totodile hiding there. There is just so much to find on this set. There really is. And then we'll go back into the main house here. Again, unfortunately, this doesn't work quite as well as it was supposed to. The idea here is to hide Togepi on the sofa there. Well, hide. To be with the matching pillow there. I believe that's what he did in the mini-movie. Then you can press... the idea is to press... There's a little sort of button on the floor here. You press it, and the idea is that the fire in the fireplace will go down, and this... I'll see if I can actually try it together, see if I can get it to move. It's probably not going to do it, and I don't want to break the set, but hiding behind this wardrobe here, it will move off to the side and reveal a decal of a Granbull. And again, I don't know if I'm going to test it because I'm worried about losing the figure, but the idea is to put Cyndaquil behind this little, you know, decal of a fireplace. And then finally, just move that off to the side. I'll just show you detail from the top of the set, which I thought was absolutely adorable. I'll try to at least. Let me tilt the camera up slightly. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. There is a Meowth and a Wobbuffet trapped within the chimney area there. Which, again, just one of those absolutely fantastic little details in the set. Unfortunately, unfortunately, there isn't actually too much more to say about this set, which is a real shame because this is one of those sets that I could go on and on about, like the tree set, about how much I love it and how much there is actually to see on this set. I think it goes without saying that, you know, both for collecting and for, you know, buying for children, I wholeheartedly recommend this set. It's so colourful, there is so much to do with it. Comes with so many little accessories and figures. It's an absolutely fantastic value set. And the best part, of course, is that, you know, for children it is portable. So honestly, I would far rather take this travelling with me than the Type E. It's a much more secure set, there's, you know, less to sort of fall off or fall apart on the outside of the set, unlike with the Type E, which had the detachable tower. There's so many little details to find with it. I'm actually finding more as I'm looking at it. There's a Bulbasaur bulb here, there's I think a Ladybird shell over here. There's so much, you know, to find with it and so much to do with it as well. The only downside, however, is not anything to do with the set, but actually the fact that the set is so difficult to find. It was nothing short of a fluke that I actually managed to find mine, and it was probably the grace of God that the set was complete at that. So, unfortunately, it is the only set I've ever seen of this type for sale on the internet, including, you know, both eBay and Japanese sources. As I said, the only of this set that I've ever seen is this set itself. I've seen pictures on a couple of Japanese sites of, you know, children like opening the set and playing with it, but obviously I think it was just like a sort of a family photo album or something like that, and not, you know, the set for sale or anything. If you can find it though, again, if you're buying for a child, grab it. I mean, it is such a brilliant set. I cannot overemphasize that enough. If you're buying for a child who's, you know, gotten into Pokemon, absolutely grab it. It's got such a nice variety of Pokemon. It's got Pokemon from 3 generations, and it keeps going over my head a bit that we've actually now got Wailmer. This was the first ever appearance of Wailmer. So actually, now that I think about it, this was the 4th Pokemon film, wasn't it? The mini-movie for it, because that was when we got our first glimpse of a few Generation 3 Pokemon. So, yeah, absolutely get this if you're buying for a child. I cannot give a price range. As there was a bidding war, I think I paid about $50 American dollars for my set. I can't remember if that included shipping or not. It might have been cheaper had there not been a bidding war. It might not have been, who knows. I don't know how much it would cost coming from a Japanese site. The cost would probably go up quite a bit because of course you need to pay for deputy service fees and whatnot. But yes, if you can find this, I say absolutely grab it. It is such a perfect set for, you know, both collectors to, you know, collect and display, or for children to play with. There is so much play value in this, and I actually seriously regret not having this as a young child. As an adult, I don't have much interest in playing with it, of course. I just more like to look at them these days than anything, but if I had this at the same time that I'd had my other sets, oh my word, who knows, my love for the Type D might even have been eclipsed by this. There's so much to it. I'd love to go on and on and on about this, but I don't think there's anything I can say that I haven't said already. Thank you so much for watching and, you know, for putting up with my rambling. You can tell when I'm particularly passionate about one of the sets or a piece in my collection, I do tend to go on a bit, you know, for close to half an hour now. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Hit like, hit share, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. There's plenty of new videos coming out. We are nearing the end of our line of the larger ChibiPokeHouse sets, but as I say, who knows, I might do the clamshell style sets and extend this series by quite a bit. For now though, thank you so much for watching. I've been Quair-chan, you've been amazing, and may the Force and Neimoidians and Pokemon be with you.